Ask for the truth on behalf of Lorna Haymes concerning relationship issues and the life path. What's going on? A bit confused, a bit I suppose stuck. I don't know what's this about. Something's happened. Something's happening. What is it? What's this about, this issue here? And I ask in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the crow, the carrier of souls from darkness into light. And we cut the deck for you there, Lorna, and we just place it over here to the side. We're going to deal out 3 cards just here for you so you can see them, and the first card we deal in the spread of 3, as you would say, is in the position in that spread of the recent past, often referred to as the recent past influence. That's what it's often referred to as. That's pretty understandable, isn't it? And then the next card that we deal is in the present. So that's the present influence, isn't it? That's what's happening with you now. That vibrates with now. I suppose in a way that could be the most important card, because all that is now, really, in a way, isn't it? The immediate future influence is the next card that we place there, the energy of the next card that we just place next to that there. So you got your 3 cards here. Recent past influence, about a moon phase behind, so you could say about 3 or 4 weeks or so ago between now and then. And then of course the present, which is now, and then of course a moon phase ahead with the immediate future influence 3 or 4 weeks or so into the future between now and then, between now and say, I don't know, the 11th of May, maybe, just for the sake of giving it a date and time, although it's not rocket science, is it? It's a bit of a dark art, really, isn't it, literally, in that sense. I want to, but now I want to start off, we've got to commence and pull out the first card. We're talking about a beginning, middle and end of a story, aren't we? Let's see what's been going on just recently in your life that's created this issue that you feel you've had to raise and ask guidance for from Spirit. Because of course, remember that we have a twin destiny. We have a natural destiny and a supernatural destiny, don't we? And the tarot are strongly connected to the supernatural. Let's see what's been vibrating there just recently for you. What energy is revealed by Crow Brother, who is king in this deck. Crow is king. Blessed be. And you have the energy of the King of Coins. The King of Coins. Often referred to as the King of Discs. Crowley calls it the King of Discs. Others call it the King of Pentacles. It just depends what deck you use. They are, to a degree, the tarot is astrological. This is a minor arcana energy. What's a minor arcana energy? He's talking gobbledygook here. Well, A minor arcana energy is like, you could say this is the King of Diamonds, in the sense of it's one of the minor arcana cards, the 56 minor arcana cards, the air, fire, water, earth. But the ones which is air, isn't it? Which is spiritual essence. Correction. The ones which is fire, correction, which is spiritual essence, and then swords, which is air, which is to do with creative and transmissive powers. Cups, which is water, which is like your hearts, isn't it? Swords is to do with spades, and then cups is like to do with hearts. We're about the Queen of Hearts, haven't we? And then, of course, coins or discs is diamonds. It's your regular pack of that's where your regular pack of playing cards came from. Although I suppose really you wouldn't play with playing cards if you knew what they were. The tarot cards, with just the 4 cavaliers or 4 knights removed. Of course, the Crowley deck is the princes, the 4 princes removed, to leave you with the 52. And of course, the major arcana is removed as well, with the 22 major arcana cards. You sometimes have a jokers in the pack, don't you, which are the fool, really, just 2 fools in that sense, and that's a major arcana card there. You just throw them in, I think, just to protect the deck, don't you, put on either side. But anyway, back to this, in this scenario, a minor arcana energy does give you power to change things. A major arcana energy, you haven't got power to change it. Say, for example, the infamous death card, which actually isn't as infamous. It's actually a good card, the death card, because death is release. But we don't go into that yet. We don't know. But that, say for example, you've got no power over death, have you, in that sense, or things coming to an end, for example. You can just make choices and cope with it and work around it. But with a minor arcana card, like the King of Coins, you have got choices. Although it's a court card, you still have a choice because it's a minor arcana card. Not choice, you've got power to change things. And you did have power to change, because it's in the recent past, it indicates that you did have power to change things. Notice there, of course, we've got Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo, the earth signs, I suppose, are they? The tiger and of course, good old crow there and his king in the background, carrying the soul from darkness to light. Of course, crow is king in this reading, isn't it? Isn't he? The bird people. The crow is a bird, of course. The bird people carry the messages from the heavens to the earth. That's why they thought to bring guidance. Whereas tiger brother, tigers 4-legged ones, aren't they? They're the 4-legged spirits, and they walk the earth. So it's I suppose, convenient to have a 4-legged one as king of coins. Tiger brother allows you. It represents the willpower. Allows you to. In this case, it's really saying that you were called upon to take charge of a situation, and it was up to you to trust in your higher self, whatever it was, to trust in that to do what needed to be done. Now, of course, if you did do that, I don't know, but he just seems to be the tiger brother. His spirit was there to help you if you called upon him. I got a sort of feeling as though maybe if there was a lack of willpower, tiger brother was there to retrieve that soul part. Sometimes you say, oh, part of me is missing. I don't quite feel myself, and that's what it actually is. If you lose confidence or whatever, it is a soul part, a part of your soul that gets lost in the void. And of course the animal spirits can retrieve that soul part, can't they? Tiger can retrieve your willpower, your ability to take charge of situations, and once you pray to Tiger Brother and ask for him to help you, once you're able and feel able to take charge, that's when Tiger has healed you. But it seems as though you were called upon to take charge of a situation. Whether it mean, of course, the King of Coins, that indicates that he is a figure of wealth, either a man of a wealthy person, a wealthy man who entered your life. Maybe maybe. I always tend to go from all the way up from dark hair to fair hair, so maybe he could have been a fair hair man, I don't know. Maybe. But that's just some code that was given to me. Doesn't mean actually anything, but in the sense that one's is dark hair, one's is dark hair, and swords is slightly lighter hair, brownish hair, you know, and mousy hair with the cups, and then of course blonde hair with coins. I actually don't know if it's the other way around actually, but that's just by and by, and it's just one of these things I suppose you do when you're twiddling your thumbs or doing the crossword or something like that. I don't know. But either way, regardless of what colour hair people have got or whatever, to some degree, it was down to you just recently to take charge of that situation and to do something. And Crow was there in the background, helping you to maybe say, yes, I can do this, or maybe to say no. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Maybe you were asked to do something that you felt uncomfortable with, and maybe for a reason. And it's okay to say no, isn't it? It's okay to know one's boundaries, I suppose, really, isn't it? Really. And to take charge of the situation, or to take charge of your situation that you are in, and sit there proud and say, no, I will not. I won't do that. Thanks, but no thanks. That's just one step too many, I'm afraid. And this is the sort of thing I'm sort of getting from it. Don't know why, I just sort of getting, I don't know why. I want to see where you are right now, because I suppose most important of all, this will tell us, Crow will tell us where you are right now, what energy is present here. We'll just flip the card nice and slowly, like we did with His Majesty the King of Coins there. Notice another court card, but a minor arcana card, so you've still got power to change the situation. You've got the Knight of Cups, where the King of Coins is the earth, is the fiery part of earth. The Knight of Cups is the airy part of water, because cups is water, isn't it? The element of water, often linked to feelings and emotions, and that's got like sort of lizard people on it, hasn't it? The lizards like to do with, although they're to do with fire, aren't they? Really, in the sense the ancient ones, they're the wisdom. Yes, right now you have power to impress. Dress to impress is the key to things at the moment, and maybe you have spellbound a lot of people. You've got a lot of charisma. You've got a lot about you, really. Although you say you were confused and you're lost and you don't know. In a way, you've no excuse to be, really. You've no need to be. And maybe that's probably why it's, I suppose, most strange of all, really. Maybe it's something that it's out of character for you. I don't know. But nevertheless, the cups, the element of water, of course, well, it's to do with feelings and water because it's to do with the spirits of the West and to do with time, because I suppose it flows like time, doesn't it? Water does. And they always say time as the healer, and so I suppose there's a lot of healing sort of vibration with it as well, isn't there? And the airy part, which is the creative and transmissive powers, with water being mental and moral qualities, you could say creative and transmissive powers of mental and moral qualities, as if you're sort of trying to communicate your standards or whatever it is, your moral standards. I suppose in a way that's why it's referred to, why Crow refers to it as charisma and as spellbinding others, because you're able to really astound, amaze people and whatever, but by that literally, when you're able to put over a point and articulate yourself and communicate your creativity, but with a moral standpoint to it, with maybe a lesson attached to it, and it makes people think, doesn't it? And maybe that's what you've been doing. Maybe, well, I'm sort of getting as though you've been communicating the lessons that you've learnt just recently, where you've had to take charge and I've had to say no, and you're telling others, look, just say no, I had to do it, tra-la-la-la-la, or whatever, don't tolerate it, I had to walk out, or I had to do this, or I'm ready to, or I've had to put my foot down and do an ultimatum or whatever, I've had to do it. There's no reason why you shouldn't do it. I can see the situation because I'm on the outside and I can look in. When you're in, sometimes love is blind, and your friends will probably say, oh, you're just trying to steer the shit or something like that, and we don't want to listen to you, and they'll regret it, won't they? I want to move on to the immediate future to see what comes of this relationship of yours and this situation that you're in, because it seems to be more, although you've been seeking guidance in the sense of spirit has come to you, Crow has come with guidance for you here, has been drawn to this for that purpose, and nevertheless, are you listening, or are you more interested in articulating your own, expressing your own thoughts about it? Have you more to say than you have to listen? I don't know. But there's certainly people have a lot to say when they're complaining when things go wrong, don't they? I want to just now reveal the next card, because this, as I've just seen it there, is very important. We were on about how you had power to change things just recently, and now you have power to change things even now. But your immediate future, you will not have power to change it, because you have a major arcana card, the Devil. Within thy right eye create all for thyself, and within the left accept all that created otherwise. This has got a Capricorn feel to it, although I suppose a strong work ethic, maybe working to one's vested interests, I don't know. Temptation may lead you astray here. between now and the 11th, 12th-ish sort of, whatever, such a thing as a 12th-ish, 11th-ish of May, around about then. The devil is the naughty card. The devil is often, sometimes, the goat of Mandy's with the testicles of the devil are sort of indicating potential hell that can be let loose if given birth to, if messed with, is that the right word? If blended with, or if communicated. There's a sense of magnetism going on in the immediate future. Now, this is a warning, this is for you there, and I want you to listen here, because Crow is providing a warning about the future. There is a chance that you may be allured into something that may be not in your best of interests, that you may be, temptation literally will lead you astray, and of course it will, because it's the truth, and that's when you do learn the lesson. It's one thing to say no to something that you've, of course, fear is a unhealthy thing, isn't it? Fear, it protects, doesn't it? But nevertheless, walking sort of blindfolded into another situation just for the sake of saying, well, say for example, I've broken one relationship off, but I'm capable of still having relationships, so I'll just walk into another one and don't care what type it is. That's heading for trouble, because I feel as though that person over there is nicer looking, but he might be one of these people who abuse psychologically or something like that. Maybe you've been psychologically abused just lately, and the next one will be physically abusive. I don't know, but either way, whatever it is, you'll be lured into something that isn't in your best of interests. It may even just be a situation that leads you astray into a scenario where you're unable to have relationships again, because you're so preoccupied with something else. Maybe if you fall into poverty, you're unable to support yourself, and nobody wants to go out with a girl who's dressed in rags, do they? I'm not saying it's that. I'm just saying it's that sort of thing where you will be lured. You will not be in your best of interests. Beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Trust is like virginity. Once you lose it, you're fucked. And that is the warning that's for you there. We can wallow in self-pity, have pity parties, and tell everybody else how horrible it's been, and how we empathise with others who are in a similar situation to ourselves. But at the end of the day, to be lured into something else, to think there's something better at the something like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, is very sort of. It's sort of deluded, isn't it, really, to some degree? But notice the red, the psychological red, the 5, the pentagram there inverted. Although often thought to be sort of negative if it's inverted, but it's not really to do with the devil. The devil within is the 666, the human number, which is, of course, the most negative part of you. It has your name on it. Satan is to do with the satyr, which is to do with the half-man, half-goat mythical creature called the satyr that represents revelry and indulgence. And maybe the devil within you, the most negative side of you, will be lured into revelry and indulgence, too much partying, too much drinking, drug taking, or smoking, or whatever it is you do, eating too much or something. Maybe that's just as simple as that. It's just something overindulgence, maybe. But either way, it won't be in your best of interests. Although not everybody is attracted to stick insects, are they? So maybe the overindulgence with the food might be, I suppose, a bit excessive say that, but nevertheless, I feel that this isn't so much about party time and enjoying yourself and being lured into bad habits, which it can represent bad habits. The devil can represent that, the devil within there. But of course, the devil within is 666 is the Egyptian, isn't it? Originally, but this is to do with a magnetism that is pulling you towards it, even in the now. It's pulling you towards it. You don't know it, but that energy is there, and Crow is there to say, I can carry you from the darkness into the light, as I did back then over the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, when you were having to take charge of a situation and say no to that. But are you able to say no to this that is to come? This is the $64,000 question, isn't it? What are your boundaries? We know it's true, and we know that you will fall for it, and when you do, you will realise, and that is when you will learn the lesson. And for now, for you, these cards have spoken.